Good evening, everyone. My name is Linda Jeray Morgan, and I'm here with my beautiful, gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous, thicker than a Snicker wife. You wasn't
Hey,
expecting that,
I
you guys.
was.
What's your name, baby?
Good evening. I'm Rotunda
And you are
Morgan.
tuned in to another episode of Living
Living
More
more
with the
with the
Morgans. It's
Morgans.
Tuesday night, you guys, and I had
Yes.
to introduce my wife like that because I had to catch her off guard
You
because she looking
did.
thick and nice and tasty, you guys. But we'll get to that later on in the program. But thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. Again, it is Tuesday night, 8:30.
Yes.
We on time tonight, you guys. And so we just thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Living More with the Morgans. We're going to have some fun tonight, you guys. We're going to do it big, and we're going to do it like we need to do it tonight.
Yes.
And so, you guys, before we get started, we like to make sure that everything is coming across clear. And so I just want to
Yes.
make sure. Okay, yeah, them vocals is coming through nice and clear. I just wanted to make sure. Let us know that you guys can hear us okay on your end. Right now, we are
Right.
streaming on several different channels right now, live across the internet, and we want to make sure that you are hearing us loud and clear. And so right now, we're streaming on multiple platforms. We're probably viewing us on Facebook, our main page on Facebook, and you can find us at facebook.com/Living More Morgans. That is the official Facebook page for Living More with the Morgans podcast. We're also streaming live on Twitter. If Twitter is your thing, Twitter Periscope. We're on twitter.com/Live More Morgans. Right there on Twitter, we are live. And we are also live on YouTube. We want to get that subscribership up on YouTube. And so you can find us live on YouTube at youtube.com/Living More Morgans. Right now, we are not live on Instagram, but you can also follow us on Instagram for news and content and updates that we're always posting on Instagram. You can find us there at instagram.com/Living More Morgans. And then we're new to TikTok, you guys. And so if TikTok is your thing, we are brand new on TikTok. So you can find us there. Simply type in Living More with the Morgans, or you can go to the URL Living More with the Morgans. Excuse me, that's tiktok.com/Living More Morgans. And so we're all over social media, you guys. And if you're tuned in right now, this is an interactive show, if you didn't know. And so we want to make sure that you guys can hear us loud and clear and that you are engaging with us throughout the entire broadcast, you guys. And so while you're tuning in, get your questions ready, get your feedback ready, get your comments ready. We want to see the comments, we want to see the likes, we want to see the hearts, we want to hear that you are in the building with us, you guys. And so
Right.
right now people are coming in, and if you are coming in, if you're joining us for the first time, we got a lot of
Please
followers and
say it.
subscribers over the weekend.
Yes.
If this is your first time catching Living More with the Morgans, please hit us up in the comments so we can shout you out and communicate with you and just go back and forth with you and just invite
Yes.
you into the presence
Yes.
of the Morgans. And so you guys, we want you to go ahead and be interactive with us on all the channels. Right now we can't see all the channels on our devices.
No.
We can see if you're on our Facebook page, and we can see if you're on my personal page, and we kind of toggle back and forth between there and on YouTube. And so if we don't shout you out on YouTube, don't feel bad, you guys. We're not able to see YouTube easily on our screens, and so we kind of toggle back and forth. But feel free to leave comments, chat on the YouTube channel right there, and don't forget to subscribe, you guys. We
Right.
want to get that subscribership up on our YouTube channel. Why? Because it's dope, y'all. It's dope. It's new. It's got hot new content that's going to be coming up, and y'all, we're going to be traveling live in time. So you're going to be seeing us when we in Barbados, we somewhere in Bora Bora, we somewhere getting it in, you guys. We're going to be bringing you with us live on Living More with the Morgans. And so we want you guys to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because on our video platforms there will be content that we will not have on Facebook. So all the video content, as far as shorts, as far as things that you can see on TikTok, my wife might be acting goofy and something on TikTok. We're going to put that on film, y'all, and we're going to make it go viral.
Right.
You dig? We're going to do it
Yes.
on TikTok. So
Yeah.
you guys, thank you again so much for tuning in. And if you're on
Thank
with us,
you.
let us know. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know
Yes.
that you can hear us loud and clear.
Yes.
We want to make sure that the visuals are coming through clean and that the audio is coming through clean. If there's any hiccups that we can fix along the way, we'll definitely do that. But we want to make sure. Why? Because we want to do things in excellence. We want to make sure that we're doing everything in excellence so that you guys are enjoying the broadcast every week when we bring it to you guys. And so
Right.
I think
and
we get
please share Share, share, share,
absolutely.
share on your groups, share in your groups, share on your
Absolutely.
wall. We appreciate it so much.
Absolutely, you guys get to sharing. Go ahead and share.
Yes.
Why? Because this is good content.
It's
No
good.
cut. This is good content. Ain't no cussing. Ain't no fussing. Ain't none of that gossip stuff. We don't do none of that stuff. That's all that foolishness, man. This big boy stuff. This grown folks talk right here.
Yes.
This grown folks stuff right here, you guys. And so, and this is a faith-based program, right? So
Right.
we're talking about love. We're talking about marriage. We're talking about travels. We're talking about living life, more more love. And we're doing all of that, and we're going to do it big, and we're going to do it for the glory of God, you see? And so that's what we're doing right here on Living More with the Morgans. So again, like my wife said, you guys follow instructions. Go ahead and share it on your wall.
Yes.
Go ahead and share it on all your platforms. Let people know that Living More with the Morgans is on, and you are tuned in. We want to hear from you throughout the whole broadcast. And so we got a couple of things. I got a couple of announcements that I want to do tonight. Because there's some people that we want to definitely shout out that are going to be coming on. And one of the things I want to do is I want to big up my little bro, Vandell Andrew. And if you guys do not know who Vandell Andrew is, this is an amazing saxophone player, producer, songwriter out of New Orleans. He's been here in Dallas since Katrina, but the brother is bad, and he just dropped a brand new collaborative album with several R&B artists. His name is Raheem Devon. I know you know him. That brother got some hits, but my man Vandell just dropped a brand new album with Raheem Devon, and it's called Love Euphoria. And so you want to find Vandell on all of the platforms, on all of the digital music outlets, Spotify, iTunes,
Yes.
Rhapsody. I mean, you name it, he is on it. And you can also visit him on his website at Vandell Music. Vandell, Vandell music.com. Vandell Andrew, you guys, the brand new album with Raheem Devon and the Colleagues. It's a collaborative album. These boys are going in on the R&B tip. So again, if you're with your lady, if you're with your significant other, which it should be your husband and your wife.
Right.
It should be that. Or even if you're dating.
Right.
And you're courting one another. This is good, clean, beautiful R&B music, instrumental jazz music, soulful R&B music that you can vibe to. And Vandell Andrew is my boy, is my man. If you purchase the album,
Yes.
let him know that you heard about it from Living More with the Morgans. Hit that brother up. He's also a brand ambassador of Lingerie. And so Vandell is doing it big. That's my man.
Yes, he
love
is.
you for
We
you
love
guys.
you.
We love you, Vandell.
Yes.
Pick up the album, you guys. Love you for on all the platforms. Download it right now. And so we want to shout out to Vandell. And we see that some other people are coming on. Babe, who we got here? Because I'm going to start shouting y'all. Y'all ain't saying nothing.
Papa.
Dr. Shanika
Dr.
is in the
Shine.
building. He
Thank
just got
you,
off of a call.
Papa.
He said, hello, son and daughter. You are looking great tonight.
Thank you,
Thank
Papa.
you so much, Papa. And we just got off of the call with him.
Yes.
Always a treat, and sometimes
Always.
we gotta cut out early so that we can be on here on time. So
Just a
Papa,
little bit.
we was on time tonight. We beat you in your 8 minutes. We beat you.
Why do you and Papa go back and forth with that?
He goes back and forth with me. He starts
guys.
it. He starts it.
You
And-
know why? Because you guys do things in excellence.
Absolutely.
And it's for the glory of God.
Absolutely.
So it's wonderful.
We
I
got to do
love
things
it.
in excellence.
So thank you,
and
Papa
it's just a
and
friendly
Mama.
competition between us, but
Yeah.
we got on time tonight. So thank you
Yeah.
again so much for tuning in, you
Thank
guys.
you.
Shout out to you. And then also, I see a couple. I think my brother Ken is on all the way out. Where is Ken right now? I think he's in Puerto Rico.
Oh,
All the way out in
wow.
Puerto Rico. My brother, my big brother, my biological big brother Ken
Yes.
is in the building right now on Living More with the
Hey,
Morgans.
Ken.
We also have Shirley McCullough. I believe she is. I remember her when she was in South Africa. So let me know where you are. Where you are right now, Shirley.
I think
you was-
she's in Alabama.
Alabama.
If I'm not wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. And thank you for coming on,
Absolutely.
Shirley.
Thank you so much for tuning in
Yes.
to Living More with the Morgans. Let us
Thank
know where you're at
you.
right now, because I remember you being in South Africa.
She was.
And I think my wife was telling me that you were either in Alabama or Mississippi, one of them southern states. And
Yes.
so let us know where you're at. We definitely love to hear from you.
Yes.
Our sister Della Yvonne is in the building.
Hey,
she is
sister.
a faithful viewer of Living More with the Morgans.
Yes, she is.
And
Thank
we
you
appreciate her so much. We
much.
just appreciate her heart and just supporting
Yes.
and just backing us and encouraging us. And we definitely appreciate you, Della.
Thank you. And we need to talk, sis. So
Already.
yes.
So it's gonna go down. And so thank you guys again for tuning in. Please share it on your wall. We've got a
Please
good one
share.
for you tonight. As you can see, we got the aquarium going and we got the tropical fish going. All the sea life is going. Y'all can see that we finna get into this show tonight about travels. And I think it's gonna be a good one because this one tonight, I just gotta say, y'all tripping. Y'all tripping.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. Why? Because now we are getting into the season of travel.
Yes.
Getting into the season of travel. Spring break for many here in America is next week, I believe. Yeah, next week. Yeah. Next week is spring break. The kids are going to be out. You're going to be looking for something to do. Especially my couples, y'all gonna be looking for something to do, or you've already trying to make some plans on where are we going? Are we taking the kids? Are we gonna leave the kids at the house and get them some mac and cheese and some Kool-Aid? What we gonna do with, what we gonna do to get away? And that's what this show is about. So we want you to start planning for the spring, for your travels, also for the summer months that are coming. And y'all already know what time it is, how fast things are moving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, my slide is still on. Okay, baby, you gotta tell me. All you gotta do is tell me. I'm still talking, y'all. The slide, and the title's still on.
I'm looking at it.
All you gotta do is tell me.
Okay.
And so, yeah, my bad, you guys. And so right now we're planning this this show for people that are going to be traveling through the spring and through the summer months, you guys. And so that's what this show is all about. We want to give you some tips. We want to give you some tricks. We want to keep you informed on what's hot, what's not, where to go right now. Again, if you're going to be traveling with the kids, if it's just you and your spouse, if y'all going to be doing your love thing, headed somewhere, far or near, this is the show that you want to watch tonight, you guys. And so again, invite your people out. And Papa Sean said travel season. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And we're going to get into a couple of things tonight. We might have to carry this over to another episode because we got some full information that we want to give you about destinations that we personally have visited, man. We visited some dope places, you guys, and we've been fortunate and blessed to be able to. And I ain't gonna lie, babe, I got that itch to get back on the plane and go.
Me too.
I mean, come on.
It is such a, that's one of the things, just to say this, ladies, when you're praying about, for a spouse, make sure you're detailed, like my husband always say. But I pray for someone that would love to travel. And my husband loves to travel. We love it. I mean, from the time we pick our destinations and how we do it. Y'all let you tell that. How we do it. And once we do it and we start packing, it's like a family thing. Literally, our daughter is here helping us pack. We are so excited. We have the music on. We, we're in here dancing. We make it fun.
Yeah, it'd be like a festival up in this mall where we getting ready to travel.
Yeah,
just to get on the plane.
Yes, we're so excited.
And so one of the things that we want to do is we want to get you excited, preparing to travel this season right now. And we know, there's a whole bunch of things going on. People's money might be funny. People might be getting some tax refunds, some income checks, and all these different things. And so we want you to be, to spend wisely, but also traveling is an investment.
Yes, it is.
It really is. And who is that investment in? It's in you. Especially if you're a married couple and you do it right. That can be an investment in you guys. And so us here in America, we're so big on save for a rainy day. Okay? And if your mind is always storing up for that rainy day, when that rainy day comes and what you've been saving, you're going to spend it all on that rainy day. And then now you're starting from scratch on saving. And so when are you going to do something for you? And I think travel is a best way, one of the best ways to really invest in yourself.
It really is.
And invest in, rejuvenating your mind, rejuvenating your spirit, going out and seeing something different. And I think that travel is one of the best ways to be able to do that. So we're going to get into that on this show tonight. And I just want to shout out some people. I know there's some people on. Tamika Greenlong is in the building.
Hey, sis.
Sister, thank you so much for joining us. Where my man Russell at, let him know that he needs to be in on Living More with the Morgans.
And she's faithful. She
is a faithful viewer, you guys. She's always on. Thank you so much, Tamika. We love you.
And also our mommy is on, Prophetess Beverly.
Prophetess Beverly Nika is in the building.
Thank
yes,
you,
indeed.
Mommy.
Thank you so much.
Love you.
God bless
Thank
you as well. And who else we got on here? Della said, love y'all. We love you too, sister.
Love
Thank you
you
so
too,
much
Della.
again for joining us. Again, you guys share it on your wall, share it with your people, share it in different groups. We want to get into the marriage groups on Facebook and on
Yes.
social media platforms. So if you guys know of some groups, let us know. Hit us up in the comments and let us know of some groups that we might want to join that would like this content and like what it is that we're doing with Living More with the Morgans. We want to expand this. We want to create a network of people, of married people, of single people, everybody who believes in marriage. Dating people, yeah. Marriage is still important.
Right.
You know, it's a if it wasn't, it's $1 billion industry out there of people still getting married, still planning marriages, still planning weddings, still doing all of that. People still believe in love.
Yes.
But even in them believe in love, we want to make sure that we're doing things the right way. And again, like I said, that we're investing in one another within our marriages. And so you guys...
and our sis, Tamika, said he cooking.
Oh, he's in there cooking.
What y'all cooking?
Oh, what y'all got going on?
What y'all cooking?
Can we bring a plate Thursday?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't want it Thursday.
Let's see if brother can get down with it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in.
You.
And so tonight's show, again, we want to talk about the upcoming spring break that's coming just here literally in a couple of days. And right now you may be planning for the family. The kids might be out, or you might be planning for you and your spouse. And like I said, my wife and I, we've been fortunate and blessed enough to be able to travel. And for me, and I'll kind of go back a little bit. For me, it really starts back early when I was a kid. And it was my dad who put me on a plane at 11 years old.
Wow.
By myself.
Really?
My parents did. And it was cool because back then, you know, the world wasn't as crazy as it is today. And so you could go out and you could travel. And then the flight attendants would tend to you, especially if you were a minor on the plane. And they'd make sure you get off on the flights and everything and get to the terminal and to the gates and all those different things. So it was no issue back then being a young person, a minor, and being able to travel, because back then you didn't have a whole bunch of sick folks, you know, trying to be pedophiles and all this stuff. You could travel in safety, and I could as a kid. And so my dad and my parents, my mom, they paid for us. And back then, I mean, it was 4 kids. So I know that, you know, and flights back then were much more expensive than they are today because there were less options as far as airfare. And so my parents put me on a flight, and I went to Sacramento, California. And I had family in Sacramento, California. And I remember, you guys, that flight, I wasn't scared. I don't remember being nervous or anything like that. I mean, I felt comfortable, whatever. It felt like second nature being on a plane. And I loved it. I mean, I fell in love with just the whole experience of going through the gate and all that stuff, and just having my bags with me. I felt important when I was traveling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I felt like...
How old were you?
I was 11.
11, you felt important.
I felt important at 11, y'all.
Right.
And so, you know, and I wasn't going to do nothing but see family. But when I got off the plane, you know, and I landed in Sacramento, California, it was so cool. And it's what's so funny, that was the first time I had ever seen or been into a millionaire's house. My aunt and uncle lived in Sacramento at the time, and they were visiting a friend there.
I see.
And so instead of going straight to their house, they took us to their friend's house. And we get there, and I just see this huge mansion that they live in. And where I'm in there, 11 years old, I'm a black kid from Oak Cliff, and I'm looking around at this house like, man, what is this? And I just remember being in awe of the whole experience of traveling and having my bags with me, and just, you know, seeing my family when I got off the plane for the first time and everything. So I fell in love with that experience of just travel. And I think from there, from Sacramento, I spent a couple of days there, and then I flew to Las Vegas. And I spent some time with my grandmother, and I've got aunts and uncles and cousins in Vegas as well. And so we spent time in Vegas, and I was traveling by myself.
Wow.
I was traveling, and I think when I went to Vegas, my sister Keish went.
Okay.
May she rest in peace. But she went with me. Yeah, Keish went with me, and we traveled to Vegas, and then we came back on to Dallas. And so that was my first experience traveling. and God bless his soul, my dad and my mom, you know, I know that was an expensive ticket for us to do that, but he made the investment in me as a kid. And so ever since then, it's like a fish in water. It feels natural for me to just get on the plane and travel.
Wow. And my experience was not like that. I mean, my parents didn't do a lot of traveling because of where I'm from, you know, they worked, you know, and again, we had cattle as well. So my first experience, it's laughable, but, you know, at the time, I thank God for it. Well, we were going to Portland. I have family in Portland, Oregon. Right. And so we were going to Portland. My aunt wanted to go and see her sisters and everything. So Dad and Mom said, hey, you know, Alton was too young. My brother was too young at the time, so I was older. And she wanted to take me. And it's laughable, but, you know, I'm thinking we're going to go on the plane.
Right.
We're on the bus.
Oh, man.
We're on Greyhound.
Right.
You know,
right.
And I'm like, oh, God, this is going to be a long ride.
Right.
I knew it would be. And my aunt was prepared. She had had a cooler with the soft drink. We had sandwiches. Right. We had fried chicken.
Right. Now,
you know, all of that.
Now, don't get me wrong. My pops did the same thing, too.
Oh,
Every now and then, we would go. Our thing was going down to San Antonio.
Okay.
We would drive to San Antonio in this big, like, this gray van that we had. I hated this van, y'all. I mean, that joint was just ugly. It was hideous. It was one of them family vans back in the day.
Oh, you had one of them good time vans.
Good time vans, right. And Pops would pack us in there, and then he would have, like, a cooler with, you know, these off-brand drinks in there. Pops trying to save money, so I understood it. We ain't had no Coca-Cola or nothing, y'all. It was some Sam's Choice Cola from Walmart or something. But it was 4 kids, and so Mom and Pops were saving all that, you know, doing the best they could, and they did a wonderful job. Yes. We loved it, and they would pack these coolers and put some sandwiches in there for us and everything, and some chips. And we would stop on the rest stops along the way to use the bathroom, to get out and stretch and buy something from the convenience stores or whatever. And we would drive to San Antonio.
That's awesome.
And I've got a picture over there on the desk over there of me and my dad. We were playing basketball, and I won. We both won basketballs at SeaWorld in San Antonio.
Wow.
So yeah, those were some of my early on experiences with travel.
That's
and
good.
I've loved it ever since.
That's so
And so you guys, the reason for this show is because the summer months are coming.
Yes.
We're headed into spring, and we want to give you some ideas on what you can do and what we've experienced as far as travel is concerned. And if you have some suggestions, please, by all means, leave them in the comments and let people know that you've got some great suggestions for family or for a couples retreat or a couples vacation. Leave them in the comments and let us know where have you been.
Right.
Let us know if it's abroad, if it's overseas, or if it's right here locally, or if it's here in the States or wherever you're from. Let us know where you have been and drop them comments and drop some suggestions while we do that as well in this program. And so I think, man, where do we want to start? Well, let's start with how we choose a destination.
Oh, yeah. I wanted you to do that.
You want me to say? Okay.
I want you to do that.
So.
You listen to this guy.
Okay, so.
He cheats every time.
No, I don't.
Come on, listen to this guy.
See how she be prefacing stuff, yo?
Cheat.
Okay, here's the thing. No, actually, I think we do it 2 ways.
Right.
We do it 2 ways.
We do, yeah.
So one way that we do is we'll write down different destinations on pieces of paper, right? So I'll take like 5 or 6 slices of paper, whatever, and we'll write destinations. I think like 3 or 4 that she wants to go, 3 or 4 that I want to go.
Right.
And we'll write them on a piece of paper. I'll fold them up, I'll crinkle them up or whatever, so I can't tell when I'm, what they are. And we'll put them in a hat or a box or something or whatever. And we'll pick out the top 3.
Yeah.
We'll pick out the top 3. And we always do a top 3 because just in case, especially when COVID was here, we couldn't go a certain place or there was some blackouts or something, whatever. We would always pick 3 just in case. So that was one way we'd do it. We would pick in the hat, put several destinations in. My wife and I, we like to travel overseas, right? She bougie like that, y'all. She don't like the American destination. She real bougie.
So hold up, bro. I've been to destinations here.
I know.
Where's my favorite place here in this country?
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
Okay.
I'm gonna get there.
You know I'll be.
But you bougie and you want to go. She wants to travel across the water.
You guys, anytime he's talking about me, he's meaning him. I'm serious.
Who's the truth teller here?
Okay, come on.
We know who's the truth teller.
Come on, Mama, Papa on.
She real bougie and she likes to fly over water for like multiple hours, you guys. And so when we put the destinations in the hat, we're picking overseas places that we want to visit.
Right.
Another way we do it that she always seems to cheat on is paper, rock, scissors. So when we get the 3 destinations, you guys, now we're going through and we'll put the final 3 and we got to pick 2 out of the 3. And then once we pick the 2 out of the 3, she's got hers, I got mine. And now it's paper, rock, scissors. And how she looking at me right now, y'all know she be cheating and rigging it so that she can, yes, she does. So that she can go, so she can go where she wants to go. But we'll do a paper, rock, scissors, and that will be our destination. Now, once we get our destination, we can't even stop there because now we got to pray over it.
Yes.
It's like we casting lots to find out where we going to go.
Right.
And now we got to be praying,
right.
Okay, God, is it cool for us to go?
Right.
But remember, the second one that we picked, that didn't get picked, is the plan B.
Right.
Right. So the second one is the plan B. So we'll choose that. So you guys can come up, what we're saying is, you guys can come up with your own cool way, your own unique way of picking destinations and let it be fun.
Yes.
Let it be something that, you as the husband, fellas, somewhere you've always wanted to go. Right. Since you were a little kid, I've always wanted to go here. And then let your wife pick out a couple of destinations.
Absolutely.
Well, babe, I've always wanted to go here.
Yeah.
Right. And then that way, even if it's by chance or you guys roll some dice or do whatever, something fun that you pick a way of which destination you're going to go to, then you can scratch it off your list when you go there. And now you've got others to choose from. I think one of the destinations I wanted to go so bad when I was a kid was Tokyo.
Yes, it
was Japan. And see, I was if you guys don't know, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I'm a huge Ninja Turtles
If anybody
fan.
follow Lambda, they should know.
Y'all should know. I'm a huge Ninja Turtles fan, right? And so I have been since I was a kid. And I always wanted to, I took martial arts when I was a kid. I was good at it. I took karate and everything. And so I always wanted to go to Tokyo when I was a kid. And when I met you and was blessed to know you, that's when I finally got a chance 30 some odd years later to go to Tokyo. And so that was one of our destinations, I think, that we had written down to go to. And I think I won that go around.
Yes, you did.
And so one of our favorite places that I definitely want to highlight on tonight, and it is our favorite spot. And if you guys have not been, it really is in your own backyard.
Really.
And I would admonish you guys to definitely get to Hawaii.
Yes.
Okay. Why Hawaii? Why Hawaii, you guys? Hawaii is right here in your own backyard. Yeah. And so many people don't realize how beautiful Hawaii is, how close Hawaii is. And I'll let you really kind of expound on this, babe, because for me, I had been to Hawaii 2 times before meeting you. Right. And then I think since us being together and being married, we've been 6 times.
Correct.
Together.
Correct.
Why 6 times?
Ooh, first of all, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but Hawaii as a little girl was somewhere I wanted to go. And that was something I remember one day walking home from school, getting off the school bus, and I remember thinking about it. I was like, one day I'm gonna go to Hawaii. Well, not only the first time I went, when we were dating actually, we went the first time, I didn't know that the next year I was gonna be proposed to.
Right.
And I think he did that as a precursor or something to say, something's gonna happen here.
Right.
When we first went, we did not go. Of course, you land into Honolulu.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't stay in Honolulu. We didn't stay in Waikiki. My husband had other plans, and so we, ended up going to Oahu, which is in a little place called the Ko'olina. Mm-hmm. And my first experience with going to Hawaii, was paradise times 1,000,000 to me.
Wow.
Because I was with somebody I loved, and it was a dream of mine that you made come true. And from there, we got married in 2014, June 28th. We got married there. We got married in this little lagoon, very private area, kind of close behind our resort where we were. Yeah.
It's called Hidden Beach.
Called Hidden Beach.
Hidden Beach, yeah.
And we got married there. Unfortunately, at the time, it was just the two of us. We couldn't afford the big wedding thing at the time. So, but this was big to me. Our families were there in spirit, and we just had a magnet. My husband had a makeup artist for me. He went all out, you guys. I mean, ugh. And I got tears in my eyes because he went all out for me and for us. And, and just getting our marriage license there, everything is just beautiful. Right. And if anyone tells you that Hawaii is not beautiful, you guys, you have to go. If you've never gone, you have to go. Right. And I have to say this, my husband and I was talking about this earlier. Don't go to it's okay to go visit the touristy areas and the tourist traps, but go somewhere where you can really experience the locals, you can really experience the island, the people, you can really have that time with your significant other, your husband, in a place where you're not so much, you're not, being bothered with, hey, you want to buy this? Hey, you want to do this? All of that. We experienced that. So 6 times for us, it's like home for us.
And it never gets old.
And it never gets old. And we even went to the Big Island, which is Kona.
Right.
So we love it. And you guys, I was talking to Mom's daughter, Jade, and Jade was saying, I never wanted to go to Hawaii. They said this, and that. So we talked about it. And she said, you know what? I might have to go to Hawaii. Right. Because it is absolutely stunning. It's stunning, you guys.
And just to let you guys know, we went. Where did we go? We went twice when we were dating.
Once.
We went once when we were dating. Okay, we went once when we were dating, and like I said, I had been before, and so the first time I went, I knew of the touristy stuff. I knew of the touristy traps. Like every, beautiful destination has its touristy traps. I didn't necessarily want her to experience that because on my second go around there, I had a chance to go inland, to meet more of the people, to kind of see more of the culture. And they had these beautiful resorts in this part of Hawaii, west of Honolulu, on the island of Oahu, called Ko'olina. Ko'olina is a resort town, beautiful town, highly manicured landscapes, just immaculate, right? And it's pricey. It's pricey. The reason why I wanted to take her there is because, again, Honolulu itself can be very congested with tourism.
Very much so.
And I would tell anybody, for the first time that you go to Hawaii, there's nothing wrong with visiting Honolulu, visiting Waikiki, which is the main strip. But I would suggest staying somewhere like Ko'olina.
Yes.
Or even North Shore.
Yes.
You'll hear about North Shore. North Shore or Ko'olina, I think are the two best places to stay while you're in Hawaii. Still, you want to visit Waikiki. You want to see all the touristy stuff that's on Waikiki, Waikiki Zoo, Waikiki Beach, where they filmed Hawaii 5-0 and different things like that. I mean, but it's so congested, and it's, the highways there are very small. And there's tourists from all over the world, particularly from Asia. A lot of you'll see a lot of Asian and Japanese tourists there, and so they're congested. They're taking pictures and different things, which they should. It's beautiful to do.
It's beautiful.
But if you're wanting to kind of get away and experience the beauty of it without all of the traffic and all of the touristy stuff, and the tourist traps where they're trying to sell you stuff and you know, souvenirs, you know, and all these different things, then I would suggest going to Ko'olina, which is the resort town west of Honolulu, and probably about 35 minutes from the airport. Ko'olina, Koolina.
Right.
And we typically stay, when we go, we stay at the Ko'olina Marriott Beach Club. Beautiful resort, beautiful grounds, always just immaculate. And they have the private villas, and get a high floor villa, right? And you can go to Marriott.com and you can book the Beach Club Resort, and book one of their villas, a 2-room or 1-bedroom villa, and you guys, you're talking about peace and tranquility. You're talking about views of the beach and of the water. Now, the lagoon there is the lagoon where she was talking about where we got married.
Right.
And we got married at this lagoon called Hidden Beach. And it's a man-made lagoon, but it's beautiful, you guys. And when you go, you will not want to leave. When you open up your windows and your doors from your villa and you hear that ocean just in the background, and you hear those birds, those tropical birds, you know, singing in the morning. And there, the sun is up like at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I love it.
The sun is totally gonna beat you up. But it gets dark there early, so about 3:30, 4, 5 o'clock, the sun is already setting. So you don't have a lot of daytime there in Hawaii. You remember, Hawaii does not do daylight saving time. They do not forward their clock forward or push it back. Their time remains consistent. So Ko'olina is a great destination to go to. And Mama and Papa have been to Ko'olina and they loved it. And Mama didn't leave at all. Yeah, exactly. And
we're going to get you back.
And we're going back. Get your bags ready, Papa and Mama. Because we're going back. And this time when we go, we're going to take you to places that we know to go, that you guys are going to have a spectacular time. So Ko'olina, Hawaii is definitely a destination you want to try out. And again, now if you've got kids, Waikiki is good for the kids. Okay, you've got the beaches, you've got Waikiki Zoo, you've got Diamond Head, which is a used to be an active volcano. It's no longer active.
No longer.
But you've got a lot of activities in Waikiki for the kids. A lot of restaurants. You got the mall. So a lot of great things for the kids are in Waikiki. But if you're a couple, if you're dating, or if you're married, you definitely want to hit up Ko'olina or North Shore.
And also, don't forget, the Polynesian Culture Center.
Yes.
You guys have to visit that as well. Oh my goodness, go to a luau. It is just magnificent. It's so much fun for adults, for kids, just everyone. And you would love that. Also, I was also going to tell them about a couple of the places to eat at.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mike Huli Chicken.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You gotta go. You gotta see him.
The name of the place is called Mike's Huli Chicken.
Yes.
Huli Chicken.
Yes. I'll put it in the comments.
We'll put it in the comments, and it's a food truck that he has on the side of the road, and he has like wood-fired chicken and shrimp dishes that he makes.
And beef,
beef, all kinds of stuff.
Yes.
And the views on the side of the road of the water, of the mountains, it's in the mountains. And you got to drive out maybe about 30, 40 minutes outside of Honolulu to get there. Mike's Huli Chicken. Check them out on your way. And then you can also, like my wife said, check out the Polynesian Culture Center. Polynesian Culture Center, you'll learn all about the old historic things of Hawaii, all the different islands, the original people there. At the Polynesian Culture Center, you can learn a lot about the different nations that make up the Hawaiian Islands.
Yes.
And so it's spectacular. And then at night they have this show called, I believe it's called The Breath. There's a play or like a show. I can't think of the name, but we'll put it in the comments.
Right.
That is at the Polynesian Culture Center in the evening. And so after you've done all your day activities, Breath of Life, I believe it is.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The Breath of Life show.
Yes.
And y'all, it's spectacular. I mean, it is spectacular. And if you're a believer, if you're a Christian, you will definitely see the correlation between that show and the life of Jesus and the creation of man and Adam and Eve. I mean, it's just incredible. But there's so much rich culture, so much history in Hawaii that we definitely admonish you. It's in your backyard, y'all. If you're here in America, it is about a 8-hour flight.
It's an 8-hour flight.
8-hour flight. 8-hour flight. You can go from if you're going from like DFW, Dallas Fort Worth to Los Angeles, LAX. And then from there, you're doing 4 or 5 hours over the water, and it is worth it. And then when you're coming in on the plane, and you're coming into the island, and you're looking out the window, and then they start playing this Hawaiian music. Now, this was on American Airlines.
Yeah, this is on American.
This is on American. We got a chance to fly first class a couple of times on American Airlines.
Right.
And when you're coming in, they start playing the Hawaiian music, throughout the cabin in the plane.
Yes.
And y'all, you get so crunk.
You're like, ready.
And we've been 6 times together. I've been 8 times.
It never
gets old. Never gets old, you guys.
It's so much to do. It's so much to see. Waimea Falls, go there to see the river falls and the water cascading down, and learning again about the history of the Polynesians, and all of that is just spectacular. Everything, the greenage, greenery, excuse me, all of that greenery and all of that, it's just absolutely stunning. The Dole plantation.
The Dole plantation.
You can go there and see, the bananas and the fruit and everything pineapples. That's right. That we, we eat. So it's so much to see, you guys. It's so much to enjoy.
And if you're into helicopter rides, if you're into, zip lining, if you're into skydiving, all those different snorkeling, all those different things that you guys can try out. And again, it is worth the investment.
It is.
And we'll talk about some tips on how to travel and how you should do it here later on in the program. But we just want to go through a couple of destinations. We don't have a whole lot of time to do that tonight, but we're going to go through some destinations that we think that will be spectacular for you to check out. Again, if you're a couple or with your family. And so our next destination, let's see what we're going to do here. Let's see what we're going to do. I'm going to pick one. I'm going to pick a city.
Okay.
I'm going to pick a city. Doha, Qatar, you guys.
Oh, goodness.
Doha, Qatar. Why Doha? Why not Doha is the question.
Why not?
This, for us, I think the first time we went there, it was actually a fly-through.
It was.
We had a stopover in Doha, Qatar.
Right.
And we were flying on, I believe, Turkish Airlines.
We were.
And I remember we were at the airport, and the airport is huge, you guys. The airport is like a mall. And it's humongous. There's tons of shops. There's tons of places to eat. Everything that you ever want is in the airport.
Yes.
And I remember we were going through it. We were getting on our flights, and I think we had a stopover for a couple of hours. Right?
We did. Yeah. It was for a few hours.
It was for a few hours, and we were able to kind of catch a light nap and something to eat there and everything. And we said, we got to come back here.
Yeah.
We got to come back to Doha. And you guys, I think the next year, the following year, we got a chance to go to Doha. And what did we went to Doha going where though? Was it to Nigeria?
I think it was
Nigeria.
It was Nigeria.
Okay. So we went to, we had a trip in 2001 where we went to Qatar, and we stopped in 2021. We stopped in Doha for a couple of days. I think it was about 5 or 6 days or something like that. And you guys, it's now, here's the thing about Doha, and if you guys don't know where it is in the Middle East, and it's right across the sea from Dubai.
Yeah. Right?
It is west of Dubai. And so a lot of people try to compare Dubai and Doha, but you guys are they're two total polar opposites.
They are.
They are very wealthy cities. I believe at the time when we went to Doha, had the highest GDP in the world.
Yeah.
And I mean, so there's big money, big wealth, a lot of old money, and a lot of new money. It's very oil-rich country.
Very much so. Yeah.
And the thing about Doha, along with Dubai, is they've seen mass progression and mass construction in a span of just 3 to 4 decades. So you're talking about 30, 40 years. I mean, they have built metropolises in the middle of nowhere that are now world-class cities with world-class restaurants, world-class scenery, world-class events and exhibitions and so forth. And so I love Doha.
Love it.
I love Doha. I love the food. Now, Doha, if you guys don't know, is a lot of the countries in the Middle East are predominantly Islamic countries. And so when you go and you travel abroad, you guys, you want to be mindful of that because you want to be respectful of the different religions and the different cultures that are there. And you have to understand that everything and everyone is not Americanized like we are. So when you do go and you're experiencing their country, you want to respect their traditions. You want to respect their cultures. You want to respect their religious practices. Why? Because it's their country. And so you're going as a visitor, as a tourist. So we just want to let you guys know that when you are traveling, anywhere you're going to travel, make sure that you respect the laws of the land.
And make sure you do your homework. Make sure you research. You know, don't. Sometimes people tell you, well, don't go here, don't go. Make sure you do your research, okay? People that have been there, people that have had great experiences. You know, do YouTube. We do a lot of YouTube as far as finding information that we need when we're traveling about the different cities, the different places we've gone to. So again, you know, when you go to Doha, no, you know, you don't necessarily as women have to cover our heads as visitors, but just be mindful of the fact that they do that, and again, the different culture, and just be respectful of that. But I promise you, you will have a wonderful time.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's amazing. The food is awesome, and it's so beautiful. You know, so we really loved it. We really enjoyed it. You know, from the airport, that was, you know, like any country, your initial look into that country is usually the airport. And so the airport was so beautiful and captivating. And so we were like, wow, we have to go back. Because we were in the, I think we were in the first class lounge. And we were there, and it was beautiful. Just everything just done in excellence.
And here was the kicker on our second time going. Our second go around going, because we had only flew in the first time through Turkish Airways. The second time going, we were going to Nigeria, and we wanted to stop in Qatar first before heading into Nigeria. And
Egypt first.
Was it Egypt?
Yeah, we went Egypt, then we went to Nigeria. Right?
No.
Where?
We went to Doha, then Nigeria.
We've been so many places. You guys, we've been a lot of places. Okay, you're right.
Because remember, we went straight to Egypt for your birthday.
That's right. That's good. Yeah.
So when we traveled to Doha, we asked our spiritual father, you guys, was it worth it for us to upgrade to business class?
Oh, yeah.
And he said, if you guys got the money, if you guys have it and it's not going to hurt you, go experience the business class on the airlines, Qatar Airways. And we had the money. We had calculated, okay, it was going to be cool for us to do it. Wasn't going to hurt our pockets too much. And then the experience. Now, you're talking about, what's that, a 16-hour flight straight?
Yeah.
14, 15, 16-hour flight straight, 16. You guys.
Yeah.
And
we didn't even feel it.
And we didn't even feel it because we're sitting in business class on seats that fully recline back. You're getting fed any kind of meal, any kind of snack that you want. You know, ain't no babies crying, ain't nobody, you know, spitting on you. And
ain't nobody yelling.
Ain't nobody yelling at you and everything. I mean, so if you guys ever get a chance where you can fly business class, especially on long haul flights like that, definitely do it.
Yes.
Definitely do it because it is worth the money. It's worth the relaxation that you're going to get, right?
The experience alone. It was like we were in a hotel suite.
Yeah.
I mean, because we had the doors, the closed.
These were called the Q suites.
The Q
guys,
suites.
On Qatar Airways.
Yes.
It was called the Q suites in business class.
Comments. Yes.
And you guys, it is worth every penny. And I say that because, and I know some people are thinking, man, that's too expensive, too expensive.
No, it's not.
It's not too expensive if you value the amenities and you value that way of travel. My wife and I have flown, economy, we've flown first class, premium economy, whatever. We've flown all of the different classes. When you're traveling at a higher, the higher classes, and it's a little bit more expensive, again, you're traveling and you're paying for the amenities, you're paying for the relaxation, you're paying for the value of being rejuvenated while you're on such a long flight.
Yes.
So that when you get there, you're refreshed, you're relaxed, you're not stressed out from and burnt out from a long flight. So we believe that it's worth every penny.
Yeah.
And our prayer is to be blessed to the point to where everywhere that we travel, we're able to do that in a way. And then we also, my wife and I, and this is not to brag or whatever, but my wife and I, we bless people to travel as well because we've been blessed to travel.
Yeah.
People have blessed us to be able to travel. And shout out to Mia. She knows who she is.
Yes.
She likes to kind of stay incognito. But she blessed us with an extraordinary blessing to be able to travel. And so we've been fortunate to be able to travel. And so when we were able to take that upgrade to business, we jumped on that, you guys. And so we would definitely tell you to do the same thing.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So the next destination we want to do, let's see, you know what? I got to shout him out. I got to get him on here. Nigeria, Africa, you guys. And so one of my favorite destinations, one of my favorite places to go, Africa, period. When we stayed in Doha, we then go over into Nigeria. Now, this was our second time in Nigeria.
Yes.
Our first time in Nigeria was for business back in 2018. And we got a chance to fly into Abuja, which is the capital of Nigeria. And we were there for, like almost 3 weeks on business. And we were traveling on the ground. We got a chance to go into Niger State and just, check out several different kinds of places there in Nigeria. But on our second trip there in 2001, we got a chance to visit our extended family, our spiritual sons and daughters there in Nigeria. And Abuja, because we were there on business as well, but also seeing family, we didn't get a chance to really see a whole lot of it. We haven't yet. And so, of course, when we go back, we've already got plans to do all these great things. I know Josh wants to take us hiking and all those different things in Nigeria. But you guys, I love Nigeria. I love the culture there. And it's the biggest Black population in the world, first of all. So if you love Black folks, there's plenty of us there.
Right.
Straight up. And then the entrepreneurial spirit in Nigeria is off the charts. I mean, it's just so lit there. I mean, what did you think about Nigeria, babe?
At first, me and Nigeria didn't jive with one another, but after going the second time, like you said, loved it. Loved it. Love it. Love it. Think of it often. So, I mean, the hills and the mountains and all of the things that are there, it's a beautiful place. It's just, just beautiful, stunning. The people are, vibrant, rich. I just love it. And it's hustle and bustle, but
most definitely.
It's most definitely.
Don't nobody hustle like Nigeria.
No.
Now, a close second is probably Egyptians.
Egyptians
got, there's some hustlers for real.
Right.
But don't nobody hustle like Nigerians and Egyptians.
Boy, I think Kenyans too.
And Kenyans get it in, but ain't nobody on this planet like Nigerians.
But
and Egyptians.
Nigeria is absolutely awesome, and we just love it, and it's just something about it,
It's the like you said, Nigeria. They're very passionate there.
Very passionate.
And they love their country.
Yes.
despite all the
be.
challenges,
Yeah.
despite all the challenges and stuff, they love their culture, they love their country,
Yeah.
they love their music, and they love you when you get there.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt nothing but love when we were there.
Yeah.
And so, Mama said on here that she kissed the ground when she landed in Cameroon.
So did we.
We did the same thing. The first time we got off the plane in Kenya.
Yes.
In 2018, I mean, we got off the plane and we kissed the ground at the equator.
Yeah.
And I literally tasted the dirt because I wanted Africa in me. I wanted the dirt in my system.
Yeah.
It's still there somewhere. But, I love Nigeria, and I love the only thing with Nigeria, and I'll be honest, I'm still, because they got great restaurants.
Oh,
they got great restaurants. And I think one of the ones that we go to often was Javanik.
Javanik, yeah.
Javanik.
Uh-huh.
Great.
And Waki's.
Now Waki's is an Indian restaurant.
But it's good.
But they got some good food, y'all. Waki's in Abuja. But I'm still trying to warm up, y'all. Y'all gotta help me with it. Y'all gotta help me with the Nigerian cuisine. I'm trying to get that egusi and that okra soup. I'm trying to love it, y'all. I really am, y'all.
Maybe we have to taste Mom. Mom makes it. I think Mom makes it. So maybe we have to try hers, because the only thing when we go, I mean, that jollof rice go hard.
Now, the jollof rice is what that is.
It go hard. So we're so into that jollof rice. So, I mean, if you guys know some foods in Nigeria that we need to try, that maybe we haven't tried, please put it in the comments. We would love to. I mean, when we were in Egypt, we were eating camel. We didn't know, but everything, the food was so excellent, awesome. So if anything in Nigeria that we're missing that we haven't tried, let us know. Then we do the jollof rice. We I've tried the egusi a little bit, not much. I love okra. It's just I don't like the
goopy.
There's goopy sliminess of it. That's the thing with me. But if there's some other things we can, I know of course chicken, fish, stuff like that. But if there's something else that we should try, let us know. And I know swallow. Fufu. I'm not 100% crazy about that yet. That to me, that's cornbread need to be fried up. I'm just being honest.
No, and so
but we love it.
We're learning the cuisine even more and the culture there in Nigeria even more. And so every time we go, we're learning new. And we're taking it all in. And like I said,
we love to learn.
And we love to learn it. And so I want to tell this to my our American brothers and sisters out there. Connect with your roots. Because sometimes when we go and travel, we're so quick to jump and go everywhere else. I see us going to Asia. We're in Bali, Indonesia. We're in Malaysia. We're in Singapore. We're in Europe. We check out the islands and stuff. We're hitting Brazil. But for whatever reason, we miss the biggest continent, or the second biggest continent on the planet, which is Africa. And there are ignorances that we have as Americans to our African brothers and sisters over there. And in order to tear those ignorances down and to tear those walls down, you have to be willing to go and experience it for yourself, and not listen to the narratives that have been told to us, and not pay attention to the negative imagery and things that have been told to us, because we heard it all too. We heard all the negative, you shouldn't go here because this, and and a lot of people, hear about, you got to have all these shots before you go to Africa. That's not true. That's not true. Now, we went, right in the middle of COVID.
We did.
And so, we had to do a PCR test here and do another one. We were there, so there was a ton of stuff that we had to do. But once we got, when we had our yellow fever shot, we got back in 2018. I believe that yellow fever card lasts for 10 years. I think it's 10 years.
That's right.
So once you've got the yellow fever shot, you guys, that is mandatory to travel over there. Once you've got the card, you can travel for 10 years on that card. And so,
and the pills for malaria.
Yeah, for malaria.
That's it.
You would take the malaria pills. But you're not getting a bunch of shots and all these different things. And so go and experience it. And there's other countries outside, or other continents outside of Africa, where you have to have shots to travel as well. And so go experience it. The visa process that I remember was simple. It was easy for us getting to Nigeria, but again, we had some help, to get there. So do your research.
Right.
Find out what you need in order to make those kinds of destinations a reality.
Right.
Because
and reach out to us if you have any questions about Nigeria or Egypt or Kenya, or any of the places that we've gone to. If you have any questions, you want to know some inside information on what you should know and what you should do, reach out to us. We would love to help.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Mama said, I've been cooking for 11 years. My agusi is the bomb. And Papa said, try Mama's agusi and you will all fall in love with agusi.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
We have to try hers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once we try it, we will. We will. We would love to.
I'm with it.
Yes.
And so Nigeria, I think, is definitely a place that you guys want to check out. We have not been to Lagos. We've only had a layover in Lagos. So we haven't experienced Lagos. It's more hustle and bustle there. It's a, faster paced city there in Lagos. So we haven't experienced that yet. But there's so many states, and so many places that you can go in Nigeria. Don't be afraid to explore. Don't be afraid to check out anywhere.
Anywhere. And Nigeria, you guys, Nigeria is coming up, you guys.
Ooh.
Nigeria, you guys, they got state-of-the-art stuff is popping off in Nigeria. So if you guys, if you don't know, get on YouTube, start looking, because Nigeria is doing it. I mean, Lagos, what they're building there, big shopping malls, apartments.
They are building
even
places.
in Abuja.
They're building places that will rival what you see in Dubai.
Absolutely.
They're building it right now in Nigeria.
Right.
And so for all these people who have this negative outlook on Nigeria, they're going through some challenges. They're going through some birthing pains.
Right.
But they are coming out of it. And I believe they're going to come fully out of it in our generation, in our lifetime, because of the technology, because of the exposure of things right now. And so don't be afraid. Now, right now may not be the best time to travel to Nigeria because of the elections.
Right.
There is some civil unrest there. There are some things that they're ironing out with the whole political election season. So right now may not necessarily be the best time for Nigeria, but don't let that deter you from ever wanting to go.
No.
Stay abreast on the news, stay informed of what's going on, and then plan accordingly. So spring break might not be the best time to go to Nigeria, but you can plan it for the summer or plan it for later on in the year. And the weather, there's no winter there, there's no fall there. It's going to be
tropical.
It's going to be tropical, you guys. It's going to be like hot year round. And so be prepared for that you don't have, if you want to call it a luxury, you don't have the luxury of like different temperatures of cooler weather like we have here in the States.
Yeah.
You're going to have more of a consistent weather pattern there in Nigeria. And you have the same thing in Hawaii. Hawaii is year round. You ain't getting no winter in Hawaii. You ain't not getting no winter. You're not getting no fall. You're getting hot, heat, and cool nights from the water there in Hawaii. And so I love Nigeria. And Della said, visit Ghana. Ghana is definitely on the list.
It's on the list.
Ghana is
We're
definitely
going to do that.
Got to get to Ghana. There's several. I mean,
there's a whole
me personally,
lot of places.
I told my wife I want to see every.
We want to see
every country.
Yeah.
Every country on the continent. I want to see it.
Yes.
I want to visit. I want to take it all in. Right. And so Ghana is definitely on the list.
Thank you, sis.
Thank you so much for that suggestion. And Mama says she is going to cook for us both some agusi. I'm down with it, Mama. Bring it in.
Thanks,
and bring it on.
Yes.
So our next city, you guys, that we're going to tell you that you definitely need to check out, and it's a world-class city. You got to get to Dubai. Yeah. Dubai, United
Arab Emirates.
Excuse me, I couldn't even think what it was.
United
Arab Emirates. Yes. And you guys, it is everything that you see in pictures and more.
Yes.
The reason why I love Dubai is I'm a technology person, and I'm a progress person. I love to see progress.
Yes.
I love to see excellence. Dubai is the epitome of excellence across the board. There are other nations that are coming up to rival Dubai, but right now Dubai is leaps and bounds ahead of a lot of places, you guys. They're coming. But Dubai, they're such visionaries for that city.
They are.
And for that country.
Yeah.
They're so visionary. And then right across the way in Dubai, you've got Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
Abu Dhabi was a desert town. It was nothing but desert and dirt just 20, 25, 30 years ago. Same thing with Dubai.
Yeah.
It was dirt. It was, oil and dirt and sand. Today, you guys, world-class businesses, world-class architecture, world-class museums, just the airport, y'all.
It's fantastic.
It's stunning, man.
It's stunning.
Dubai is just crazy stunning.
Right.
And because there are a lot of flights into Dubai, it's not as expensive as you think. We've flown on Emirates, which is an amazing airline to get there. But there are other airlines that fly into Dubai often. And so don't think that, oh man, it's expensive. No. You can get round trip tickets to Dubai under $1,000, under $900 to $1,000 easily. But you just have to know when to fly. We'll touch on that later. But Dubai, there's so many people from around the world that have moved into Dubai, and that they're starting their businesses. They've got their restaurants there. They've got their clothing shops there. They're setting up shop for people around the world to come in and consume their products or their services there.
Yeah, and they have a lot of American brands there.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of restaurants, clothing shops, all of that. I mean, and then just around the world.
Right.
So, I mean
everything that you have here, you're going to find there.
You'll find there. But it's just the mall and everything is just world class. I mean, you'll break your neck every time you look around. There's a Rolls Royce, there's a Ferrari, there's a, I mean, God. I mean, it's
everywhere you look.
Everywhere you look.
$1 million cars,
yes.
Bugattis, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, and it's no thing to them. It's just like, and it's not boasting and bragging.
No,
it's just that
that's just how they live.
It's how it is. They got it. Now, with that, because there are some people who will argue that yes, the city or the country has been built on the labor of poor people. Honestly, you guys, that's every nation. And I'm not laughing at that. I'm saying that, unfortunately, is the reality.
Yeah.
That a lot of nations have seen their progress on the backs of poor people. America has seen the progress of its nation. It's been built on the backs of poor people. A lot of blacks, a lot of people of color, Native Americans and so forth, indentured servants, built this country and didn't get much for it. And so be mindful of that, but don't allow that history to taint an experience that you can have, because it has been built for you to go and experience.
Right.
And I want to say that to us as people of color, and particularly as Black people, is that I want to see us travel more, and I want to see us go experience more. Because
we get tired of being almost the only two Black people.
Right. It's like
unless we're going to Africa, we're the only two.
Right.
Sometimes, most of the time, the only two Black people
we're the only Black folks there.
Right. When we were in Egypt, people were looking at us. We're in Hurghada, and people were looking at us like, Caucasian people like,
right.
What y'all doing here?
Right.
And we were like, it's Africa.
This is Africa. But even let alone Africa or parts of Egypt or Europe.
Right.
But we've been to Hawaii, and people are looking at us, Caucasian people and stuff. They're looking at us like, well, who are you and where are you coming from?
Because they don't see us traveling. And the reason, and I have to say this, and it's true, we get so inundated and caught up with life here in our jobs and being on these jobs that they literally, even me being a professional, an accountant, being somewhat undertone, like threatened that, oh, okay, you go on vacation, but you can only go for a couple of days.
Right.
Oh, when I haven't used any of my paid time off, and I'm ready to travel. It's always that stigma or that thing that tries to make you feel like you shouldn't go, or no, you don't go. You're supposed to be here. I want, when you said this, I want us as people of color and Black people and African Americans, you guys, if you have the time, use your time. You have the right to use your time, because when we are constantly here and we're not experiencing life outside of our 5-mile radius or what we know, we think everything is the same and everybody's doing the same thing. They're not.
No.
You know, when we talk about travel is not just to go and spend money, but travel is for health, your health. It is important as you're working 9 to 5, 12-hour jobs. You have to be able to have that time to decrease and go and refresh and restore yourself. You can't allow yourself to just be here and just, be up under that stigma of, oh, I don't know if I can go. Oh, I can't go because I got, this responsibility.
Right.
Those responsibilities will be there. If they hired you for the job and you're using the time that was given to you, then use the time.
Right.
It is important for your mental health as well and your family. To get together as a family,
Yes.
to get, a lot of times I believe this, and we do this, to reconnect.
Right.
Reconnect with your children.
I really want to touch on why it's important for the children to travel.
Yes, it's extremely important.
And again, I'm talking to my Black brothers and sisters. For whatever reason, we don't put an emphasis on exposing our kids to bigger and better. And the way that you can do that is through travel. You can do that through books, you can do that through reading, but there's something different when you can touch, taste, smell, hear, and feel a totally different place, a totally different culture, and see sometimes our perspective on things is so narrow because we ain't been nowhere.
See, and that's what I was saying. When you haven't experienced traveling, your perspective, your mind is narrow because you only see and know what you know here.
Right.
You guys, outside of this, people are living life and so much to learn.
Right.
Books. We believe in books. We have tons of books here. We believe in reading, but also with that, take them so that they can experience something. It broadens their minds, so that when they come back from spring break, where did you go for spring break? Oh, I just went to the water park. But you can say, oh, well, my family, my mom and my dad took me to wherever, so that they can experience that, and that will, you don't know what that will do for them and for their minds. And it will broaden it.
Not only does it broaden it, but it gives them, again, more perspective, more insight to the rest of the world.
Right.
And not just what's within our 5-mile radius. Oh, it's spring break, we going to Meemaw's house.
Right.
Or we going to Auntie and them's,
Go visit.
Go visit.
But
plan for your children to go see more.
Right.
If we can plan to put them in all the sports, we want them to be in the NBA, we want them to be in the NFL one day so they can take care of mama and build us a house and a mansion, and buy daddy the truck. Okay, well then invest in them in other ways too with travel.
Right.
Because what that does is, again, it makes the books come alive.
It does.
It makes the history books and the encyclopedias and the different things that they see on the internet, it makes them come alive for them.
Yes.
And so when they can say, oh, I've been to this country, or I know what it feels like to go here, to go there, and they can say it at a young age, their minds are more cultured. You will find that children that are more well-traveled, they're more articulate.
They are.
Right?
Yes.
And children who travel and they get around other cultures, they pick up other languages quicker.
They do.
They can be bilingual without even, having to go through formal training or education to be bilingual. Why? Because they're around it so much.
And that's another thing that, you know, when you're planning this, and again, we're going to talk about that as well, because I know when you have children, it's expensive. You know, it can be expensive, but if you plan it out over a little bit of time, plan it, you will see that, of course, it'll be well worth it. But also, I wanted to say that it not only would it broaden in their minds and everything, but it will allow them to, like you said, learn a different language. You can incorporate that in. I know when we were going to Japan and we were going to all these different places, we started trying to learn some of the, you know, the language just to say hello, thank you, all of that. You know, when you're traveling with your children, you guys can go and start learning, you know, learning a language and stuff, and start saying, okay, you guys, we're going to do this. We're going to sit together. We're going to learn. We're going to Japan. We're going to learn how to say konnichiwa and all the other, you know, things, hello, goodbye, whatever. And you know what? That is fun for kids. And that's fun for adults, but it's fun for kids. And that'll help them to really open their minds up and broaden their minds even more so that they can learn a different language. It is so extremely important now anyway that our kids and us, adults, we learn different languages.
And there's more to life, and there's more that's out there than just what we're seeing on TikTok and what pop culture is slamming us with all the time. There's more that we can do. We just have to get in our minds to actually value the experience that's out there.
And it's valuable.
And it is valuable, you guys. And I'll say it this way. I can remember being called or being told that I talk white when I was a kid. And I used to hate hearing that. Like, if there's a way to talk white, then what's talking black? Right? So if white is proper English, then in essence, what you're saying is that black is failed, improper, you know, incorrect English, right? And so I want to say this. We tend to demonize being educated. We tend to demonize being advanced in our culture, in our society, as African Americans. We tend to diminish the fact that you're intellectual, that you're smart, that you're creative. And in our society, they up you and you down and you cool and you accepted when you talking, what up nigga, what up P, what up B, what up ho. How is that accepted among our culture? So when they told me that I talked white, thank God I had parents, I had a father, I had a mother that said, no, you don't talk white. You talk like you're well educated, you're articulate. Where did that come from? It came from my parents putting value and morals in me that made me want to see the world and experience the world outside of where I just grew up in Oak Cliff, Dallas, Texas. Even where I grew up in Oak Cliff, my parents would not raise me in the hood. They didn't. They raised us in a nice area, nice home, nice surroundings, didn't know what gunshots were, didn't know what a drug deal looked like. I didn't know that. So I valued travel as a means to learn what my European brothers and sisters were doing, or to learn what my Arab brothers and sisters were doing, or learn what my Islamic brothers and sisters were doing. And I do consider them my brothers and sisters. We all come from Abraham. Okay. But the thing of it is that if you're not exposed to those things, you don't know that it's for you. It's like a caged lion in a circus. And he's looking at lions that are in the wild. And he looks at them in the wild that are running free, and they're doing all the natural things that they're doing as a lion. They're going out, they're killing their prey, they're being dominant. That caged lion who's been in a circus all his life is looking at those lions in the wild and saying, well, what's wrong with them? Something's wrong with them. They're trying to act or be something that they're not. No, it's built in them. It's an innate ability in them to interact with other cultures, to interact in the wild. That's how God built them. That's how God wired them. But when we're caged up in our little 5-mile radiuses, in our little hoods, in our little neighborhoods, in our little communities, in our little cliques, then we're cutting ourselves off from our natural innate ability that God has birthed in us and has built in us to be able to function in different cultures, in various societies. We shorten that.
Right.
And we shorten our experiences so that we don't know how to talk to this group of people.
Right.
We don't know how to engage with this group of people. We don't have anything in common with this group of people. We only can hang out with people who believe like us.
And that's why we're talking about traveling. And that's why we're talking about getting outside of what you're familiar with.
Yes.
And your children, and going somewhere where you can learn a different language. You can learn culture. They can learn culture. They can be, in the mix of all of that, so that they can grow mentally and everything, and they'll want to travel and take their families and take their children. Traveling is I would say traveling is, I will give it, next to having excellent health, traveling is that. Because that's what it does. Again, it is so good for us mentally. It's so good for us to be able to get away from the hustle and bustle of the day, of the weeks, the issues and the things. Okay, yeah, we know some things will still be there, but you know what? You can go somewhere and sit by and listen to the ocean, and be able to hear the water, and you wouldn't believe how you even hear God talking.
Yes.
You'll be able to have answers to maybe a problem that you have.
Right.
That's what travel does. It just it helps to open up so much, in your mind. And so,
something to you.
Yeah, it helps to do all of that. So yeah, we got to, yeah.
Yes, got you.
Yeah. So don't forget, traveling is absolutely the best thing.
Absolutely.
And I agree.
Absolutely. One thing that Papa was saying on here, and we're going back to Dubai. He said Dubai is the new Paris, the new Italy in terms of top brand fashion, shopping, tech, top car. Absolutely.
Yes.
The top brands, everything. I mean, and again,
oh, that's good.
If you're in the fashion, if you're in the tech, whatever that you're into, there are other places outside of where you're from or where you're at that have it probably 10 times more.
Yes.
I remember when we went to Tokyo. Tokyo is the tech world. I mean, anything tech you want to know in this world, go to Tokyo. It's 100 times what we got over here in America.
Yes.
In fact, they have it probably 2 or 3 years before we even get it in America.
Right.
But that's what travel does.
Yes.
Travel exposes you to other cultures, other ways of how people do things, and you'll look up and say, man, I didn't know they were doing it like this. I didn't know they had this already.
Right. And we want to make sure that, you guys, if wherever you've been, put it in the comments. We're here to help one another.
Exactly.
We want all of us to get out and explore this world that God created. It's so much to see. It's so much to explore. Put your favorite destination in the comments. If you've been somewhere, put it in there.
Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Let everybody else know, so that people can say, oh, okay, I never thought of that place,
Right. So while we're doing that, you guys, go ahead and come up with some ideas and some destinations that you have in mind. Hit us up in the comments. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Don't go nowhere, because the program is not over. We're coming right back with Living More with the Morgans. Again, get your destinations down. Any questions, any comments that you want to hit us up in the comments, and we'll be right back.
We'll
after
be
this
right
commercial
back.
break.
Today, people and business owners have a ton of options to choose from. When it comes to web developers, graphic designers, social media marketing, branding, and the list goes on. And that might not be such a good thing. What if there was one company that you and your business could trust that could provide all these services at prices that won't eat up your business capital before it gets off the ground? From logo design, branding, custom website development, hosting, social media marketing, print media design, and more. Infusion does it all under one roof with a team of professionals that are just a phone call away. Infusion Design Solutions, the infusion of exceptional design and affordability. Visit us online at infusion.com.
Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Landis Ray Morgan, and I'm here with my beautiful wife.
Hello, I'm Rotunda Morgan.
And this is your official invitation to check out our new podcast, Living More with the Morgans, which airs every Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. Central, 9:30 Eastern. You can check us out live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And you can connect with us on our Instagram and TikTok. More life, more love, there's more to explore on Living More with the Morgans. See you soon. All right, you guys, and we are back to Living More with the Morgans. And today's topic, we're talking about all things travel and great destinations. And we just want here to let you know that, man, y'all tripping. And so if you're tripping, that's a good thing. Why? Because you're telling us, and we're telling you, that you are ready to travel this spring and this summer, and you're ready to explore more life, more love, and there's more to explore with Living More with the Morgans. And so we got a couple more destinations that we're going to get into before we sign off for the night. And you know what? I'm going to do these last two, babe, because we got several more that we can touch on.
Yeah.
But I think I want to touch on another big city that you don't see too many of us going to, and that we definitely need to try, and it just recently opened back up to the world. And that city, you guys, is Hong Kong. You guys, Hong Kong, China. And if you haven't been, Hong Kong is humongous. And it is beautiful, and it is hustle and bustle. It is totally big city. And the reason why, we didn't get a chance to go for long. I think we were there for like 4 to 5 days in Hong Kong. Hong Kong, when you fly in, you're flying in and all you're seeing is nothing but just massive buildings and massive skyscrapers and apartment complexes. And then it's all built within the mountains.
Yes.
All of it's just sunk down into the mountains.
Yeah, in the water.
In the water.
Yeah.
And
It's
that was our first experience seeing China. And now they say Hong Kong is not necessarily like mainland China, like Beijing or Shanghai or so forth.
Yeah.
But it is still China.
It's still China.
And I love the culture there. I've always loved Asian culture, and I love the food there. I love the architecture there. When I travel, I love the city. I love to see the technology. I love to see the architecture. I love to see the advancement of a city.
Yeah.
You know, and I love to see the interaction of how people are doing things and getting things done in that city. What'd you think about?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved Hong Kong. Of course, I love the food. But yeah, it's just big, just so much going on, you know, so much to see. Again, technology is big there in Hong Kong as well. But it's a massive city. But we had a great time in the 4 or 5 days that we were there. I mean, that's a place I know that we talked about going back to as well. Yeah.
And I think, you know, one of the things I want to touch on is in traveling to countries, you know, outside of Africa or outside of America, as an African American, people have asked us, well, you know, do you guys experience like racism? Do you experience, you know, ugly looks and things. I know when we went to Hong Kong, I didn't receive that. I don't remember getting any of that.
No.
I felt very welcome. I felt very safe in Hong Kong. Again, there is a lot of hustle and bustle, and it's jam-packed full of people, but it's very organized,
Yes.
and it's very structured. And so I felt safe. I felt invited and welcomed in Hong Kong.
Every place we've gone to, I felt that. There's not only place that I can say that I didn't really I enjoyed, but a little bit of the stares again was in Hurghada, Egypt. In Egypt, but that just comes with the territory. You don't allow that to ruin anything. You just go on. You guys just, when you're starting to travel, you have to be mindful that, again, a lot of times us as African Americans haven't been to a lot of places because we haven't been able to in a lot of ways.
And then there's ways that society puts us as Black people, as African Americans, out there into the media.
Right.
And then those different countries or people in those different countries see us that way.
Okay.
They see us as hip hop, or they see us as, urban culture or whatever.
And hip hop and everything is there.
It's global.
It's global.
It's
so
worldwide.
they like that. I like what Tamika said.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Yeah, she said, Mari love Asian culture. I do too.
She wants to study abroad in
wants to
Tokyo. Yeah.
That's excellent.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And the reason you totally have to go for it, and you totally want to make that investment is because, again, our children today are opened up more to what's out there because of technology. They can see what's happening in Tokyo. They can see what's happening in Kenya, South Africa, and so forth because of the device they have right there in their hand.
Yeah.
The TikToks and the Instagrams brings the world into our hand. Yeah. Now you want to bring yourself into the rest of the world. And if you can make that investment to do that, especially with your children, that will take them so far.
It will.
And it will broaden their minds so vastly. And so I love Hong Kong. I love China. Again, I'm big on the Asian culture. I'm big on their history. And they have a very rich history as well. Very brutal history in China and in Tokyo, in Japan, excuse me. So there's so much to learn. And if we're just willing to learn, if we're willing to sit down and talk with one another. I can remember we were in Tokyo and we were talking to someone and they knew who the Dallas Cowboys were.
Right.
This guy was talking to us about the Dallas Cowboys in Japan in a little small hole in the wall noodle shop.
Right.
Where we're eating some soba noodles and this guy's talking to me about football and the Dallas Cowboys.
Absolutely. And we have friends there.
Right.
We took a cruise and we met friends and that we still talk to this day.
I mean, you meet lifelong friends when you travel.
We do, yeah.
And we have them to this day.
Yeah,
it's like,
around the world.
And you can connect with them here on social media, stay in touch, and when you go back to that country, you go back to that city, guess who's waiting for you?
They are. Yeah.
So you meet lifelong people and you share stories. I remember, in this last destination, before we get off, I'm gonna share this because this is our favorite destination up to this point. But again, you just meet so many different people, and you the common denominator in everything is love.
Is love.
And so when that's your denominator, you can get past the language barrier. You can get past the religious barrier, and you'll find out that, man, just peace of mind and love and just making it and progressing in life is the common denominator for all of us around the world.
It is.
And so this last place I want to hit you guys with is our personal favorite destination that we've been to together. And we definitely plan to go back many, many times. And we definitely plan to take some folks with us. So get your stuff ready, get your bags ready.
Yes.
We definitely want to check out this place. And you guys, that is none other than Cairo, Egypt, there in Africa. Cairo, you guys, Egypt is a whole nother world, fam. Egypt is another world. And look at the smile on my wife's face, you guys. Egypt there's so much history. The food, the cuisine, it's hard to even verbalize how amazing. When people say that Egypt is magical, they're not lying. Egypt has this charm about it that I don't think any other city in the world has it. Egypt is the people there are warm, very aggressive. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, Nigerians and Egyptians, the biggest hustlers on the planet that I've seen so far. But Egyptians, they just want better. They want better for their lives. They want better for their children, like anybody else does. But they love their culture. They love their nation, and they love the history that's there. I believe that there's some things that are opening up about Egypt even more now, to where they're getting an understanding of their history, and we over here in the West are getting an understanding of our history that is tied to Egypt, that is tied to civilizations throughout Africa, not just Egypt, but throughout the continent of Africa. We're now getting an understanding of what ties us to our Black roots as Black Americans here, what ties us to our Black roots there in Africa. But for us, Egypt was, it was magical. I mean, from the museums, from the art, of course the pyramids. I mean, when you go there and you see the pyramids and you see what they built 5,000, 6,000 years ago, and they still can't tell you how they built them, that is engineering that is unprecedented. It's unheard of what these people were able to build. You see things that are still intact 3,000, 4,000 years later, as far as the art on the walls, the paintings, the tombs, just an incredible civilization that did this and that built this. And if you are marveled by the pyramids that they built above ground, wait till you see the tombs that they built below the ground. And it was like mini cities that I mean, babe, you tell me, what was Egypt for you? I mean, I can go on and on just about how heavy it was.
Yeah, for me, I said this to you, there's a connection there for me.
Yeah.
I can't explain that, but there's a connection there for me. Egypt was, we've been to how many countries? Probably over 21. And adding Egypt, it was the most impactful for me. And the people, like he said, you know, and just seeing the pyramids, you know, we talk about this stuff, but to see it up close, to look at it and say, my God, you know, we touched it, you know, touched the pyramids and all of that. Just walking in, you know, when we're in Luxor, going in the temples there, looking at, you know, King Tut, you know, his structure and all of this stuff that we saw. And like you said, the paintings and stuff, it's just, you guys, it's unreal. And we did a balloon ride up there. Hot air balloon. Yeah. We took, when we got ready to go see the pyramids, we took the 2-mile
camel ride.
We took it, you know.
I mean, and there's nothing like, we went from the base of the pyramids by camel, Camel.
Yeah, you can go by horse.
Yeah, you can go by horse and cart or whatever. But we wanted the experience of camel. 2-mile journey all the way up to the front of the pyramids and back.
Right.
And you're on this camel, and the heat is coming down on you like you feel like Mary and Joseph back in the day. I mean, for real. I mean, it's unreal.
It is.
The experience that you'll have in Egypt, and we're just scratching the surface because we only saw Cairo, Luxor, and
Right.
Hurghada.
Hurghada.
And so there's many of the monuments and the different things that we didn't see or haven't had a chance to see yet
Right.
because they're in other parts of the country.
And we must say that we did get a chance. We took a dinner cruise on the Nile.
Yes.
We did that. We got in the Red Sea. I mean, it was like, and then our spiritual father was following us, and he was like,
Right.
"You guys in
You guys in the
Exodus,
Bible."
you in the Bible."
Right.
It was just,
It was crazy.
it was
crazy.
absolutely amazing.
Tamika asked a question. She said, have you
Sure.
guys traveled by train? I love trains and have been researching luxury trains for travel like the Oriental
We
Express.
just talked about that.
We have been talking about travel by train, and it's funny you asked that, Tamika, because one of the places that we're planning on going this year is Switzerland. And it's one of the places we picked out of the hat, I believe.
Yes.
And Switzerland, they have this train ride that has like open glass top ceiling or whatever.
Yes.
And you can see like all through the mountains and the waterfalls and stuff. And I've been studying that stuff on YouTube, and so that will be my first train, my first train experience. What about you, honey?
Mine too.
Yeah.
And we also talked about also going from London to Brussels.
Yes.
On the train as well.
Yeah, we were going
So-
to do the London. Actually, you can do it from any of the main European cities.
Right.
And so you can go into like Berlin or Frankfurt, Germany, or so forth, and you can hit the train to Paris. You can hit it to Germany. You can hit it to all just the neighboring European countries. And so we're definitely going to want to do that. Papa said to travel by train, you have to be in the European countries.
Right.
Yeah,
That's good, Papa.
definitely.
That's right.
There's also you can also travel by train in a lot of the Chinese and Asian countries.
Yes.
You can also travel by train in Indian countries.
Yes.
So if you're in India, they have a railway system there as well that you can travel a lot to the different neighboring cities and states and so forth in India and throughout
Yes.
China. So, but yeah, I definitely want to do it, and I think
do
one of
too.
the first experiences would be Switzerland for us, or
Yes.
Europe when we get a chance to go to Europe.
Yes.
Now we've done subways and stuff, of course.
Right.
And so I wouldn't necessarily call that the train experience. I mean, I've done the subways in London and Paris and in Tokyo and so forth. But the train is definitely a way that you want to go, and just again, you can relax. There's different classes that you can purchase on a train, so you can purchase a first class ticket on the train.
Right.
And get a better meal. You can get better seating. You can get better amenities on the train, just like you can on a plane, you guys. And so it's just about planning.
Yeah.
It's about planning and knowing what it is that you're willing to spend for the experience that you want.
Right.
And then also just to let you guys know, we do a lot of research before we travel.
That's where I was
You
going
dig
to
what I'm
say,
saying?
yes.
Yeah. And I'm gonna close it out with that is we do a lot of pre-planning leading up to a travel. You guys, we just don't jump up and say, yeah, we're gonna go here and boom, and we're gone. No, we do a lot of planning it out. And so when you're getting ready to travel for spring break or for this summer, you don't have a whole lot of time if you're looking to travel for spring break, of course, but in the summer months that are ahead, you guys, May, June, July will be here before you know it. We're already in March. And so start now by researching and finding the countries that are open, of course, that don't maybe not require a PSR test anymore as far as COVID is concerned. A lot of them have eased back on their stipulations and their regulations of COVID and everything. Some countries are still enforcing it. So you want to make sure that you go to a nation where if you don't want to go through all the rigmarole with PCRs and all that stuff, that you're going to a country where they've eased back on it. And then also look for travel warnings, right? You want to, you can go to the government websites. You can go to the embassy websites here in America of the different countries and find out right now if there's, any kind of civil unrest or insurrections going on, or any kind of, illegal activity or different things of that nature that are going on in these countries before you go. Why? Because you want a safe experience,
Right.
especially if you're taking your kids. You don't want to be somewhere where you know they're having civil unrest or protests going on right now. And so that's why I was saying earlier that Nigeria might not be the best time to go, because they are in the process
Right.
of, you know, the elections and so forth.
Right.
And so also in doing your research, you might want to jot this down as well, is that when you book your flights, never book your flights on the weekend.
Never.
Never go to pay for your flights or find your flights and book on the weekend, on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Never do that, because the airlines know that a majority of people do that, and they will jack up the price on the plane tickets. So you want to shop for your tickets in the middle of the week, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Not even on a Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe early Thursday morning is when you want to shop for flights for your itinerary on the airlines. And then you also may want to travel on those dates, right?
Travel on those days.
Because the airports can be so full on the weekend because people are trying to travel to get there, you know, on the weekends or whatever. But you may, if you want to save a little bit more money on your travels, you can travel during the week and maybe fly out on like a Tuesday or a Monday night or a Wednesday or so forth. And so those are better times that'll save a little bit more money, especially on international flights that you're looking to book.
That's good.
Okay. And then another thing, you know, right now, you know, people are into the travel, budget travel. And so if you're into budget travel, you have a family, you have a big number of kids, and you may not have a whole lot of money, but you want to take them somewhere. You want to do something nice and special for them. I don't think there's anything wrong with budget flights if you pre-plan and you read up on information accordingly. Papa said a couple of things, and we're going to jump into it. He said, actually, Tamika, I'm going to go back to her. She said, I absolutely want to go to Switzerland. And yes, I've seen that train. It is beautiful. Absolutely, it is. Papa said, to travel by train, you have to be in the European countries, and subway train is so American.
Yeah,
so
it
American.
is. Yeah, of course.
He said Tuesdays to early Thursdays only for ticket purchases. Exactly. So Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays
Yes.
are the best days for you to get good deals on flights. And to get good seating on flights as well, because again, a lot of people are trying to book flights on Friday when they get off of work, or Saturday when they have a day off or whatever. And guess what's happening? They're driving the prices of those tickets up, and the airports are packed or whatever. And they know that if a high volume of people are going to these websites to purchase tickets, hey, they're going to bump those ticket prices up. So you want to avoid that at all costs if you can. And even in flying out or flying to your destination on the weekends as well.
That's good.
And then again, for the budget travelers, again, you have a lot of kids. There are airlines out there such as like Spirit Airlines, Frontier, so forth. I don't necessarily knock them. I don't totally like those budget airlines, but there are some out there that are getting better, particularly in the European countries and Asian countries. Asia Air, there's smaller airlines in those countries that are getting much better in their service. And I researched those. I researched them by, reading articles and flight articles and different things like that you can look for on YouTube and on Google when traveling the regional airlines or the smaller airlines. Here in America, of course, we've got like Spirit, and we've got Frontier, we've got Southwest that have more economical pricing for flights.
Right.
But you just want to make sure that you're reading the fine print and that you're getting, you're researching what you're going to get, especially if you're traveling something like on Spirit.
Absolutely.
My wife and I have traveled Spirit, and we haven't had an issue with Spirit. We actually haven't. We've traveled to, I think it was Boston, Massachusetts. We traveled there to go to Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah.
And we had no issues, but we had no issues because I read everything.
We read everything. Right. Good, because you want to be knowledgeable. You don't want to get there and be surprised, and you got luggage and it's 60 pounds, and they're like, oh, 60, well, you're going to pay this.
Right.
I didn't know that. Well, you didn't read.
You didn't read that.
So we have to make sure that we do that. We
Yes.
read. Also, something that we didn't talk about is also, you guys, there's nothing wrong with finding a travel agent, especially when you have a family, you have children, that can help you also with finding some good deals as well.
Yes.
And so look into that as well. There's a lot of great ones out there that you can look into. Again, YouTube has a lot of information with that as well.
Yeah, and I think when you're looking for travel agents, of course, always read the ratings.
Read the ratings.
The great things,
exactly.
The great things about things now is that you can read the ratings on Google, Yelp, and all these different online companies that you can read people's experiences with these travel agencies.
Right. Papa said Expedia third-party websites, sales packages for flights and plus hotels together are good for families.
Right.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And you can even book activities now.
Yes.
So when you go to Expedia.com, you guys, Expedia.com, Expedia.com, you can book, especially if you're traveling with your family, with kids, you can book an entire package with hotel and even some activities that you can do when you get to your destination,
right,
along with the flights, and car rentals and different things like that if you're needing to get around by car. The thing about a lot of these destinations now, when you get there and you're traveling, they've got Uber or they've got Lyft. And so I know, even when we were in Nigeria, they had the app called Bolt, where it's just like their version of Uber. You can go and get a vehicle with no issue. You can get someone driving you around town with no issue. And so, but the great way for families to book is to either get with a travel agency, or you can get with go on Expedia.com and you can book the packages there. And you guys, they have great deals, and you have to be able to kind of shop for some deals and to know when to look for deals. Again, on the weekends, they know that traffic is going to be high. They know people are going to be looking to buy and get travel discounts and all this stuff on the weekends. No, you want to look during the week, Tuesday through Thursday, for the best travel deals. And you want to book on those days, and you want to most likely travel on those days if you can.
I agree.
And so there's so much that we can talk about, you guys, but we're going to cut it short for tonight because we've been on for a good minute. But tune in throughout the month of March, because we're going to be talking more about travel, more destinations. And again, we want to get your suggestions and some things that you want to bring to the table as far as destinations are concerned, places you've been, places that you want to go. Let us know. Hit us up in our comments. Hit us up in comments on this video after the replay, or you can send us a direct message on our pages on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, YouTube, and on TikTok. And so, you guys, we've had a great time talking about the destinations and about travel.
We hope you had a great time.
And we just want to know, if y'all tripping, then we tripping too.
We tripping too.
We're about to start tripping together, you guys. It is the season to do it. And I'm believing that we're going to see some destinations this year that we had never even thought about. So if you're planning to go to Switzerland, if you're planning to go to Africa, Europe, if you're planning to go to Bali, Indonesia, wherever you're planning to go to Hawaii here in your backyard, to Canada, to Vancouver, to Mexico, anywhere that you're planning to go, first of all, be safe, research it, make sure that it's safe and that there's no tension in the area, and that you do the proper protocols, right? That you understand the culture, that you understand that everybody might not have the same belief system as you. Everybody may not do things the way that you think they should do them, but you're experiencing their culture. You're experiencing their lifestyle.
That's good.
And so you want to be able to enjoy that, but you got to take off you and put on them to be able to experience that in the way that you want to. And so travel is therapeutic.
Yes, it is.
It is an investment, and it is beautiful, and it's fun. And God wants us to see what he has created.
That's right.
If there's anything that God wants us to do, he said, beloved, I want you to live life and life more abundantly. Be in good health.
Yes.
Prosper.
Yes.
And live life in the way where God wants you to experience. He wants you to see the mountains that he made.
Yeah.
He wants you to see those glaciers. and Greenland and Iceland and Antarctica. He wants you to see them.
Let's go see them, you guys.
He wants you to see those animals that
Yes.
are roaming, those elephants in Kenya, and those giraffes in Tanzania. He wants you to see those.
Yes.
He wants you to see those waterfalls that he created. He didn't create it for him. He created them for you.
But he did a magnificent
And he did a magnificent job. He paints a new sunset
Yes.
every night. And he paints that sunset custom so that his children would say, wow, God, that was awesome. But how are you going to see that if you don't go out there and explore? Like we say here on Living More with the Morgans, there's more life,
Yeah.
more love, and there's more to explore. And you're doing it, guys, right here on Living More with the Morgans.
Yes.
We'll see you next Tuesday night.
See you next
8:30
Tuesday.
p.m. right here on Living More with the Morgans. We love you guys.
Love you guys.
Have a good evening.